Welcome to FitByFood, where we outsmart binge eating without restriction. In this video, I will talk about conditioning and mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are the empathy neurons. They help us picture ourselves in someone else's shoes. And this is something that happens unconsciously, super quick, like we're not aware that we're doing this. An example of this in action is that you're taking up your phone and watching a fail video. When someone fails, you can feel it in your body. They fall and you cringe because you can imagine yourself in their shoes. This is mirror neurons in action. Another way this is used by the human is when we are children and when we get taught something new. We see something happening and we try to mirror it. So, for example, they show us when we were a toddler how to tie a shoe, or how to walk, or how to mimic someone's verbal ability. This helps us, the mirror neuron helps us to connect to other people and grow as a species. Why this is important in the FitByFood world is that mirror neurons are the unconscious force that makes us adopt unconscious habits. When we were a child, if our parents had a coping mechanism of food, they most likely give it to you because you absorb their coping mechanism. You see how they view the world and you absorb it. This is not something that you do with intention, it just happens automatically. Like if you were doing it on diffusion, just osmosis, that habit. This is something that happens unconsciously. You just adopt whatever attitude and behavior your parents have to fit into the tribe. This is important to understand because mirror neurons are so involved in how we get formed. So on top of conditioning, which is the formation of a person learning the social roles in the collective society, but also in the family system, we also have the mirror neurons that help and shape us by just absorbing what we see. And this is very important. For example, if your parents have a bad relationship to food and health, you will most likely also have that. Because you see what they do and you just absorb it and do it yourself. Because it's the only thing you see. You don't question it, you just absorb and mirror it back. So you can imagine yourself, if you are a child, 8 years old, and you see your mom reach for a candy bar when she's stressed and comes home from work, feeling overwhelmed. Of course, that's also how you, as an 8-year-old, are going to cope with your overwhelmed feelings. It's not something that happens with conscious will, it's just automatic. It runs in autopilot. And especially if you're thinking of how many years it takes for a person to become conditioned. You have all that period of learning how the world works through your parents. So a way to understand your coping mechanism of reaching for food, eating emotionally, is to reflect on your parents and their relationship to food and see how you might have adopted that relationship and perspective. And your parents might have also done the same with their parents. If it never stops, if no one ever takes a pause and reflects on, maybe the food is not what I actually need, then nothing will change. And this is what I do here at FitByFood. I talk about this coping mechanism so that you have more awareness and you know how to regulate yourself better. So subscribe for more content on this to get more awareness, and remember, it is possible to get fit by food.